of nicotine originated or biosynthesized from ornithine amino acid. In tropane alkaloid, these are confused, merging of two rings. One is the pyridine, and the other is piperidine. So we can see here that we have here the one here piperidine. Meanwhile here we have here the pyrrolidine. أو بنشوف هون برضه إذا أخذنا واحد اثنين ثلاثة أربعة خمسة this is بيبريدين، وإذا أخذنا من واحد خمسة ستة سبعة واحد ثمانية هاي بايروليدين برضه بالشكل هذا chair formation بنشوف ستة سبعة خمسة ثمانية this is pyrrolidine و this is piperidine. So what we have to know that these alkaloid are again of merging of two rings, pyrrolidine ring and piperidine ring, and we called it tropane. So this is tropane. This is the tropane nucleus. We are going to focus on this nucleus, and this is the tropane base. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the the numbering, the official numbering system, And again, in our compound that we have here, our tropane. نشوف المصطلح هذا tropane. This is tropane. If we have a hydroxyl group at position number 3, we have a hydroxyl group at position number 3. We call it tropene, I-N-E, tropene. So we have a tropane without the hydroxyl. When we add, particularly at carbon number 3, we call it tropene. So tropene base is the most important base for our tropane alkaloid. Our tropane alkaloids, from chemical point of view, these are consisting of the tropene base. Now we know what do mean by tropene. Tropene when we have hydroxyl group right here, and also with mandelic acid, tropic acid, or benzoic acid is benzoic acid. إذا بنشوف هنا برضو كمان مرة نتخيل we have the hydroxyl group بعدين عندنا acid. So we have acid with alcohol تسوي عنا ester. So ester here, that's the tropane again without the hydroxyl group. Tropene reacts with acid to form the corresponding acid. إذا كان عندنا tropic mandelic acid أو tropic acid أو benzoic acid.
دكتور السلايدات معلقة عند سلايد 2.
عن هون
عند سلايد 2 وفاضي بس مكتوب تروبين الكالويدز.
بالله عليك هون بس هاي مش مبينة.
فاضي
ودكتور
السلايد.
ودكتور إذا أنت بتكتب مش مبين إشي.
دكتور بتخيل ما بعرف إذا ظاهر عندك كلمة take control. يمكن إذا كبست عليها تزبط، يعني تروح على السلايد اللي أنت حاطط عليه.
شو أكبس؟
اللي هو تحت الكل بالسلايد يعني بالشاشة.
هاي ظاهرة أتوقع عندكم.
هلا سلايد 3 ظهر اللي فيه.
طيب على كل هاي ظهر على التروبين زي ما حكينا تروبين. this is the تروبين alkaloid. أهمها عنا إحنا الهيوسيامين والهيوسين والأتروبين. بنشوف الشكل الأتروبين this is the tropene. This is again that here we have our tropane base and tropane base again. Here we have our hydroxyl group. Remember that we have 1, 2, 3 hydroxyl group right here. This hydroxyl group is in the axial form. Remember, in your chemistry, when we have a chair configuration and when we have at position number 3 a functional group, always like to be in the equatorial. But in case of atropine, we have exceptional. Our natural, these are in the axial, or what we call them endo. If we have it in the equatorial, we call it exo. So the hydroxyl group is the endo configuration. Endo derivatives only pharmacological active. For this reason that we don't have the exo in the exo or in the equatorial derivative, we don't really have any pharmacological activity. So all the pharmacological activity must be again derivative of the endotropine. If we see also the structure of the tropine right here, that we don't have any chiral carbon presented in our compound. But if we look to our tropic acid, we can see this is tropic acid. This is tropic acid, this is acid, this is tropic acid. So here we have our chiral carbon atom, chiral carbon, and the chirality here of our compound is due to the presence of the chirality of tropic acid. So tropic acid, as we see here, that is the S and the S. That means rotates the polarized light counterclockwise. يساري هاي S يساري ناقص tropic acid. So the chirality or the absolute configuration of our acid is due to the tropic acid. This is tropic acid. This is tropic acid. If we see our compound, الهيوسيامين. This is hyoscyamine. This is hyoscyamine. Hyoscyamine also we see it is a negative S counterclockwise. This is again from where arising from the presence of the tropic acid. So hyoscyamine resulted from the reaction between our endotropine endo with the tropic acid. This is tropic acid. This is the tropic acid we mentioned, chiral. We still have the chirality. So for this reason that we have our here the S or minus or left أو يساري أو counterclockwise of our hyoscyamine. Hyoscyamine is considered one of the most important alkaloid belong to the tropane alkaloid. Tropane alkaloid is a genuine alkaloid. أصلي يعني مش موجود في النبتة بالأصل. But during the isolation process, this central atom, this stereocenter is racemized to have atropine. إذا الأتروبين إذا موجود structure الأتروبين هاي الأتروبين أو سكوبولامين لهم نفس الستركشر باستثناء الأتروبين عادة نكتب قدامه بلس ماينس. So atropine, what I want to say that